I should say, a sunny but cool, slightly chilled Berlin. Um, Spatial is a part of the One Esri family. And while we are based in the Caribbean and we serve the English-speaking Caribbean, we continue to be a global force and have our footprints all over the region and the globe. So, Philip, before I continue, can you just confirm that you're seeing my screen fully and everything is okay?
Yes, I'm seeing your screen.
Okay, perfect. All right, so today we're going to speak about all you need to know about Esri technical support. It's an important topic if you're part of the Esri ecosystem or if you're thinking that you want to join the Esri ecosystem, as the GIS space is dominated by this company called Esri and this platform called ArcGIS. And a lot of folks focus on all the power and amazing stuff that the technology can do, that the software and the tools can do. But just as powerful for that part of it is also very, very well supported by technical analysts that can help you further and get the most out of your investment. And so while Spatial continues to push for ArcGIS adoption across the Caribbean, we feel like it's very important to place a lot of emphasis and priority on the ability by the Esri ecosystem to support existing customers. And if new customers are coming into the space, of course, as a user of any tech software, you want to make sure that if you bump into any challenges or need any additional support, that a solid ecosystem is there for that as well. Okay, so having said that, I would move on to dive deeper into it. The areas that we're going to cover for this session is definitely a little introduction about Spatial, about the Caribbean market, about Esri technical support at Spatial, and then we're going to dive into some additional types of support that one can get outside of the standard support. And then I want to say a special acknowledgement to the Esri team members that are on the call, showing how available they are for support. They actually supported me in this presentation by being able to answer any Q&As at the end of the presentation. Now, Spatial is, first of all, I would like to acknowledge all of the team members over the years. We celebrate 25 years of serving the Caribbean this year, started out in 1998. So we're very seasoned in our offering and our engagement with the region. We're the exclusive distributor for Esri for the English-speaking Caribbean. We cover 15 countries, spanning from the Northern Caribbean at Bahamas, going all the way down to the southern part of the Caribbean, Guyana. We continue to, well, let me jump back a little. We continue to offer solutions to both government and private sector organizations. Serve roughly around 100 to 150 customers per year. So we have a wider customer base, but active customers per year is somewhere between 100 and 150. We also offer hardware or geospatial products like drones and survey equipment to match this GIS platform. In other words, tools that you can use to collect data to feed into the geosystem. And we have a staff complement of 16 well-esteemed custom team members, staff members, resources within the team. And then we have an extended partner network of 7 regional organizations. And we continue to invite folks into the Esri partner network. If you're a domain expert in a particular area and you have mastered or continue to build up your mastery in a particular subject matter, we invite you to be a part of the Esri Partner Network. Now, what are our Esri offerings? We particularly sell ArcGIS software. As many of you would know, we sell software maintenance, and we speak to sector-specific solutions as well. Solutions that are built for your specific need, that is tailor-cut, already ready to go, as we call COTS, off-the-shelf solutions. We also offer training and we offer professional services where we can not only sell you the software, but we can help you by knowledge transfer for you to learn the best practices and workflows, and we implement and customize and go as far as system architecture as your needs may be. Now, I want to speak specifically on this call about maintenance. Earlier, you heard me say we sell software, we sell training, but one of the main things that we would like to highlight is the software maintenance. What that means is once you're paying or in a year where your licenses are currently active, what you find is that there's a lot of benefits that come with the maintenance. And we're talking about access to the latest version. Now, Esri traditionally upgrades or brings out new capabilities within the software twice per year. And so as the technology evolves and becomes more powerful, one of the incentives of you to maintain the license is that you'll get those additional capabilities. The other thing, which is more germane to this conversation, is that it gives you access to standard technical support. Now, it doesn't mean that if you're off maintenance and we have a very good relationship with you, or we see you have a critical need, that you can't get maintenance. But by contract, you're not really accessing the maintenance without you being, you're not accessing the technical support if you're not on maintenance. However, we have had situations where a customer might be doing critical work around utilities, around public safety, and Esri prides itself on being a company that will meet your need as you need it, especially when it's disaster response or something like that. So in these cases, what we do is try to try to get a complimentary, probably a one-off complimentary technical support. And normally what we have found in the past is once a customer goes out and get that technical support as they needed it, that normally lets them understand a little more the value of the maintenance, and it normally leads them to putting more emphasis on staying current on their maintenance. But other things that come with the maintenance is access to the Esri community. Some of you who are long-standing customers may know that as a GeoNet community, and it also gives you access to self-paced training at the Esri Academy, as well as access to the user conference. Now, that's an overview of what we're talking about, but let's dive a little more into the Esri technical support at Spatial Vision. Esri has a global support infrastructure, as I like to call it. We have 6 stations around the world, or 6 global locations that can be referred to as regional support centers. And what this allows is for, if you're a customer, no matter where in the world you're a customer of Esri, there is a regional support that is nearby that can support you in your time zone, in understanding maybe the culture of where you're from, and just being more relevant to you than something that is a bit ad hoc, in terms of not just having support from someone that can't relate to some of the things you're referring to. So we in the Caribbean, we're in the Latin America and Caribbean region, and so our regional support center that's closest to us and most close to us, not just geographically, but as I mentioned, time zone and culture, is the Colombia office, right? But this slide is very important because it shows you the breadth and the depth of Esri's investment, commitment to making sure support is there for all their customers around the world. This award, this support has been awarded by the Association of Support Professionals in both 2016 and 2018 because Esri has put a lot into that. And so they have been recognized and awarded for that level of quality support. So the challenge for Spatial was to ensure that our customers in the Caribbean can meet or can receive the level of the global standard of support And remember, I showed you earlier, we have 16 staff members and 15 countries we're serving and 150 customers. So it was very important for us to say, okay, let us lean on or partner with is a better term. Let us partner with the regional support center to ensure that all of our customers are receiving this level of support. And we went to both the CEO in a trip before this, and this is me here in 2021, went to Colombia, met with the support team, had conversations with them about meeting that standard. And what came out of that was a signed partnership that we're probably in our second or third year now, to the betterment and basically to the happiness of our customers. It means that we are able to have hands-on in this partnership to make sure we guide the LATAM team to our priority customers, to our everything that's happening in the market in real time, but also know that from this picture alone, you can tell I want to draw attention to the lower middle image where you see it's a lot of people. This is just this is in the middle of, this picture was taken in the middle of the pandemic when I think the office occupancy was down to 30%. So it's probably 3 or 4 times this amount of people that would be in the Colombia office. And basically between the support team in Colombia and the American team, you're talking about 50 analysts that are available. So it means that at any given time in any specific area, whether it is utilities, cadastre, parcel fabric, utility network, enterprise level, pro level, online level, whatever level you are as a customer, once you have some need for technical support, you literally have a pool of maybe 50 analysts to your to meet your need. What that has led to for Spatial is increased customer satisfaction. It has led to shorter time to case resolution. So the case is open and are resolved in a shorter period. Less need to escalate the case higher. And as I mentioned, because they're based in Bogota, it's a similar time zone, similar culture. And so it has led from feedback from our customers to a higher ranking for politeness, technical skill, thoroughness, and communication. And the latest KPI, or key performance indicator, has reflected that. I want to draw your attention to the 3 rows. We have the target, you have where Spatial is, and you have what we have as in the one Esri as a distributor average. And so for escalation, as you can see, the target is to be below 15%, we're at 0%. So that's perfect. As a matter of fact, if you look at the right of the slide here, you see the color code to show what meets or exceeds the KPI, and that's green, and you notice all of the Spatial row there is green. So we're meeting or exceeding the KPI for escalation, for CSAT, and for the average time of resolution. That's what the ATR stands for, how many days it takes on average to resolve a case. And so this is a true reflection of a success story between Spatial and the Esri team in Colombia. And it is really for not just our success, but really the success of the customers who are the ultimate reason why we do this. So I'll dive a little more into the LATAM Regional Tech Support Center. I mean, I've been speaking, but maybe it's better to show with words, with visuals instead of words. So I'll just ask you to watch this quick video, and then I'll come back to discussing more about the greatness that LATAM Regional Center is delivering. 1 second, let's go.
Hi, welcome to our LATAM Support Center. From our office, we provide technical support to our customers from all over the United States, Bolivia, Jamaica, Honduras, and 14 Caribbean islands. We are working towards increasing the reach of our LATAM Support Center, and providing this excellent service to other countries in the region. From a local perspective and with the regional team of Esri Colombia, we also provide support to our customers in Colombia, Panama, and Ecuador. Our management staff is composed by one site manager, 3 trainers, and 1 quality assurance. They all support the entire operation.
We are all graduated from different careers, such as geosciences, environmental engineering, cadastral and geodesic, computer science, civil and industrial engineering, and business administration. We even have a pilot in our team. Working here allows us to be surrounded by an amazing and professional group of people. We understand the importance of Esri products to facilitate data analysis and decision-making. We are always happy to help our customers to address the challenges of our work with the use of GIS.
We are divided into 2 different teams, the LATAM regional team and the corporate team. For the LATAM regional team, we have 2 group leads, 16 tier 1 analysts that support all technologies, ArcGIS Online, desktop, implementation, and enterprise. We have 2 hybrid analysts, and we have 1 technical lead. On the other hand, our LATAM corporate team is composed by 2 group leads, 13 tier 1 analysts, 2 bench analysts, and 2 tier 2 analysts. Recently, we have begun a project in which we provide 3 technical account managers to Esri, divided into 2 regions, 2 for Latin America and 1 for Europe. In that sense, we collaborate with Esri to provide these type of services and liaison with Esri distributors in those regions.
Yes, so I couldn't have said it better than the actual analysts themselves sharing some of that information. So yes, that's the LATAM regional tech support. Now, the more important point that I would like to share is I invite everyone to take a screenshot of this, is how do you access the technical support? So we've spoken about all the different things that the tech support team does, but what is the first step to communicating with us? And there are multiple channels here, and we're going to dive more into some of it after this. But the email to remember is esritechsupport@Spatial Vision. You can always send an email directly to that, send your message to that email address, and automatically a case will be open for you. And someone will reach out to you pretty fast and start the engagement. Now, additionally, there's a web form on My Esri, or it can be accessed through support.esri.com. And that allows you to open a case real time and also monitor it. And we're going to speak a little more about that as well. In addition, there's an actual app, what we call the Esri Spatial Caribbean Tech Support app, which allows you, I like that option because it allows you to have the visibility real time on your phone once you're using the app. And in this day and age, that's probably what we're using most is our phone. So the support app is really there for you to leverage. We encourage folks to download it and use it as much as they want. And of course, the traditional channel is also there, giving us a telephone call at 1-876-615-0104. So, and also just not to leave out these websites down below. So support.esri.com has a full view of all that Esri has to offer. And that is also one of the channels to get to the web form, as well as you can visit support.spatialvision.com for the latest in what Spatial has been doing with Esri LATAM team. So let's dive a little more into contacting Esri support. There are a few steps, but before we talk about that, we could say, what are those benefits of supporting? When cases are created from My Esri, basically the analyst will have more structured end user information, and that will allow the analyst to work with the case immediately. So with this My Esri web form, you can request a case, you can monitor the case, you can add notes, escalate, close, and reopen the case. We can track defects and enhancements and escalate bugs. So, you know, what I'm doing now is going deeper into the process of you using the web form. All right. So going to the support portal, and I should say before I go any further, Esri has, depending on what you prefer, there's the old or the standard portal for my Esri, and then there is an upgraded one or a new portal that some of you may be seeing now within the last month or two. So what I've done is have a little screenshot of both the old and the new, so that whichever way that you're engaging in my Esri, one of these should look a little familiar to you. So by submitting cases directly through my Esri, you can use your existing Esri account to sign in. If you don't have one already, you can create one from the sign-in page on my Esri, and by clicking on create a public account. So to your right is what that login page would look like. And then once you get in, the portal could look like the lower left, which is the older portal, or the middle one there, which is the new portal. So how do you get started now? The good thing is that this is a single location where you can manage all of your relationships with Esri, not just support, but you're accessing training, understanding your licenses, setting up your authorized callers for your support. All of that can be done through your My Esri. So it's important that you're using that to your fullest. It consolidates all of your organization information into a single experience, including the data from the support, customer service, events, and training, right? So if you're, again, the upper image here is what it looks like on the standard portal, and the lower one with the orange is what it looks like on the new portal. So the first thing is to set up your authorized caller. And what an authorized caller is the designated individual within your organization who may contact Esri online or by telephone to request support. Because what Esri needs to know is that this call is coming from an authorized person, and that they can have this case engagement with this particular person. You don't want to be talking to 3 different people at the same time. So that needs to be established, and that can be done through your My Esri, and then from the support side, we will know who we're speaking to, and we'll have additional information about that caller. You can add, you can use add caller to add a new authorized caller or edit an existing caller using the tools provided. So you can change, if you change that role in the company or in your organization, you can adjust it in your My Esri as well. So the support workflows using My Esri is, just navigate to the support page. This is a new portal, and it's a lot easier to navigate, to be honest with you. You'd already have your account. You just click to support, and all of these options come here. Whether you want to request a case, see an overview of your support information, view and manage your existing cases, and then, of course, if you're having some bugs or there's enhancement needed, it can be escalated. And this is what it looks like on the old portal, right? Now, the support overview, again, if you look at the upper image, you will see your standard cases, your premium cases, the bugs and all of that. And below, it's the same information, just a different layout, right? And basically, it's a dashboard that allows you to see the various activities that's happening in your cases or in your organization, to be honest, right? Again, you can look at your recent activities to see, if there's any updates within the case management, or if it's the last thing is where you left it is where it's at. So you're able to monitor progress of the existing case. If the status has changed, you will see that. If a note was added, you will see that. If the owner of the case has changed, you will see that as well. To request a case, again, this is the older portal. You have to provide all the information requested in the first steps we mentioned of the request case. And then you send a request, just like that. On the new portal, this is what it looks like, similar to what we just saw before. So again, depending on which portal you're using, it still is the same information. It's not that much change. It's just really the layout and maybe the backend system architecture for my Esri. You can use this again to manage your system profiles. System profiles provide a way for you to store your organization system configurations, and they are used when requesting a case. By storing your system configuration, you don't need to re-enter the information each time you submit a case, right? And similarly, in the new portal, it looks at something like this. Then we're talking about the actual cases now. You might have more than one case open. And so when we talk about the case, we're talking about the actual need that you have, and you're sent for some tech support and they open a case, right? So you can manage that in your MyEsri old portal or new portal. And you can see, you can filter through at the top of the list for your open cases, your closed cases, submitted for analysts, product, more filters, all those things. So this is in the thought that you may have more than one case open. Some may be closed, some may be open still. So you are able to filter through, similar to an Excel sheet, and see what's happening with your various cases. You can also go in and see the details of the case. And as we mentioned before, add notes, escalate, close, and reopen. And this is how it looks in the new portal. This is just more information about how to add a note to the case. As you can see in the on the images, you have an action tab. You click the add note. You can attach a file, or you can write in something there, and then you click add note. It's very user friendly, very easy to navigate, to be honest with you. And similarly, in the new portal, you'll click at the top, technical support case, and you go down. If you notice that little red box, you're going to be editing it, and you put in more information, add a note to the or you can attach a file. Similarly, escalate case, on the action, you click escalate, and then you put in the information for that. And on the new portal, similar thing. Instead of that, so if you look at the screen, the red box was around this little blue thing, which is an icon for like editing. Instead of that, now you click the thing beside it for escalating the case, with the arrow pointing up to indicate escalating it up. All right. And then afterwards, you close on the action in the old portal. In the new portal, you just skip over to that other box there with the X to close the case. And then if you want to reopen it, similar action again. So it's very, very, very intuitive, very easy. On the new portal, right beside the X to close it, you can reopen the case, and you put in the information. So that's a kind of a rundown, a quick overview of what the MyEsri portal experience is like, and submitting and managing, not just submitting, managing the case on the MyEsri portal. Now, the last thing that I want to speak about is priority and premium support. What we find is that there are some customers that are doing operations and works that need higher level of support engagement. It may be that they need it for around the clock 24/7. It may be that they need it for a specific time, but they need additional on-call support. And so there is a higher level of support than what we have spoken about so far. And those can be captured under the terms priority and premium support. What we just spoke about is the standard support, which is part of Esri's maintenance program. And it's still quality support. Don't think that we're saying you need premium or nothing. You're totally fine with the standard support. But again, if they are a small to medium-sized account and you want to ensure you have higher escalation path for those businesses, priority support would be for you. And if you're a large or a global account and you need help enterprise customers achieve their desired business outcomes, premium might be for you. Or it might be a special event premium support for a specific time, for a specific type of event. that's available as well. So let's talk a little bit about the priority. Some of the things that come with a higher escalation path is that we can prioritize the case routing. We can have quick access to qualified resources. You can have expedited case management, and you have a faster response to critical issues. Now, this could be for a utility organization that wants to make sure they want higher support than what is there with the standard support, right? Premium support is even higher. It's a higher support engagement for recurring service review meetings. So no, with this, you can have recurring service review meetings. You can have a single point of contact within the tech support team. You have direct access to qualified resources. You have greater availability and quicker responses to critical issues. This also could be like a utility, or it could be like a national security, areas that need 24 hours. I like to say 24 hours, 7 days a week over the weekend. And this is where you leverage the image I showed you of the global infrastructure means that even if one office is down at this time, or when I say down, this regional support center might be closed at this time, you know, the sun is rising somewhere else in the world, and you can tap into those additional support locations. And this slide kind of speaks to all of that. Now, I must point out that weekend support, as you see here, is more for premium, but not necessarily for priority. But the general idea is that these are, both premium and priority, are extended support that give you higher value realization. So if your system is down, you might want, or your system keeps dropping, you might want to have that kind of additional support. If for version upgrade, case escalation, complex solutions, product integration, critical application, this is where premium support is more relevant than the standard support. And this last slide I would show here just shows the type of organizations that would fit each of these types of support. So for priority support, it could be like a organization that has a small EA, small enterprise agreement. There's small yet critical deployments of applications are needed. Special events could be like a special project, upgrades, migrations, that kind of thing. And premium support, as we mentioned before, is for like large enterprise agreements, complex challenges that you're having, critical deployments, and the risk of impact to many users. So again, speaking to utilities, an electric company, a water company, a national a defense force, a police force, disaster response, that kind of thing. You need to have access real time. And so the sectors that speak to these are architecture, engineering, you know, utilities, local government, national government, natural resources, telecom, and water utilities, right? I'm gonna pause right there now. It's a lot of information that is shared. And I would probably want to open the floor, Philip, to see if there are any questions that needs to be answered, if there are any comments, if there are any anything that anyone wants to share on the call now before we wrap. We also have the team on the call from the LATAM support. And so any questions that you want to shoot to Spatial, or you want to shoot directly to Esri, now is the opportunity to take advantage of their presence on the call. So I'm going to pause now and pass back to you, Philip, to navigate the Q&A.
Yes, feel free to make use of the chat box and as well as the Q&A feature. So if you have any questions, just let us know and we are here to answer the questions.
No questions?
No question.
no questions. I sign that I did a really good
Okay,
job.
I'm seeing
A really
a
bad
question
job.
here.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so Anaki is asking, does it matter where the licenses are bought? Can anyone use the support team?
No, well, the question of where the licenses are bought basically just speaks to which distributor you bought it from. In the case of Spatial, it would be a customer that's within the English-speaking Caribbean, and it doesn't matter which country within the region. Once you have bought it through us and you're current on maintenance, then you have access to the standard support. So it doesn't really matter. Once you're current on maintenance, you have access to this support through Spatial. Other distributors might be doing directly their own support. Not every distributor does their support through the LATAM or through a regional center. But certainly if you buy licenses through Spatial, no matter which of the countries, of the 15 countries, whether it's, I can go through the list: Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, Barbados, Bahamas, BVI, Jamaica, Grenada, Guyana, St. Vincent, St. Lucia, St. Kitts and Nevis, Trinidad, TCI. I hope I didn't leave anyone off, but all 15 countries can have access to this LATAM support.
Thank you, Reverend. Alex, I hope that answered the question. And is there anybody else that has a question?
Okay, I see Anna K said the answer satisfied her question, so that's good.
Thank you.
Well, I guess if there are no Q&As, what I would invite folks to do is we're going to do a survey after the call, which is tradition for our monthly webinars. And one of the things I would like to find out is how many folks are interested in the premium or priority support conversation. You don't have to be committed to buying it now or to be investing in it now. But if it is something that you believe might be valuable to your organization, we would love to get more feedback from you to have a further conversation. We can invite our Esri colleagues in for that conversation, because I do believe it is important, especially for a disaster region like the Caribbean. It's always good to have this premium real-time access to support. And sometimes you don't know that you want it or need it. You don't know that you need it until you really need it, So I invite anyone on this call to let's have a conversation further about that. And if there's nothing else, then I will just leave with my contacts. And say thank you for your time, for your attention while we deliver this project, this webinar about all the great stuff that the support team has to offer from Colombia and the One Esri family. My name is Rashawn Clark. I lead the customer empowerment team. I'm also the deputy CEO. I left off my Y here.